If you have that style, it is called discovery. So there are different styles. Normally teachers, when they teach, they start one style, look at the faces of individual students and then see, oh, you did not follow that. Everybody has got that capability. When I talk also, I look at each face and then see, oh, you are not following me. So I will change my style and again put the same concept again. So that's why teachers generally repeat once, twice, thrice, because each student have their own style. Each teacher have their own style. I said I am from science, so I have got discovery style, right? So each student, not necessarily whether which background you belong or which foreground you have, but an inborn talent is there in learning. For some people, they know how to catch discovery. That's why some classes are boring for some students, not because the teacher is boring. Your style is different and the teacher's style is different. For some students, it looks very, very attractive because there is a match between a deductive style and a deductive style of learning. For somebody else, stories are interesting. Somebody's story is boring. Somebody else, they just want theory, forget about it. Examples I know how to create. Somebody will like examples and not the theory at all. So that's why some teachers are attracted by some students and some that happens. So in teaching style, it is said that most of the teachers should try out different styles because there are 40 students and maybe 6 of them will have discovery, 6 of them will have different styles. So how do you do that? And if a teacher can get into 90% or 80% or 70% of the students, and such teachers are called adaptive to the students. So that teaching is called adaptive learning and adaptive teaching. A teacher have to be adaptive to the students. A teacher have a learning styles and teaching styles are called adaptive. There are some people who don't agree that adaptive teaching is not there, only adaptive learning is there. But when there is teaching, there is learning also, right? And no classes should be teaching classes. No classes should be teaching classes. Classes should be learning classes. Generally, teachers will say, I finished my teaching. Okay, wonderful. You're a very bad teacher. You must ask whether the students have learned it or not, right? So the classes are called, generally it's not from the perspective of the teachers. The class have to be seen from the perspective of students. So that's why it is called learning classes. It's not a coaching place. So it's a learning place. Coaching is from the teachers, but learning is from the students. So this is called adaptive. So my book is, and now people started giving electronic cassette CD, internet learning. And how do the computer see whether you understood it? Which style the teacher have to teach? You know, when you record, assume somebody is recording my talk. I will never repeat. By default, we get true, no, in communication. Mass communication, nobody repeats a sentence once again in the communication. If somebody is recording, I will be very cautious. And what will happen? Therefore, teaching classes cannot be recorded. But we are going into communication, recording, making multimedia classes. There is a center for UGC which is called Consortium for Educational Communication. Have you heard about it? CEC, Consortium for Educational Communication. I did a course there. I did a course in Consortium for Educational Communication. How do they make? They teach you free of cost. Any teachers who want to, if you are a teacher in UGC approved, I think this lecture also agreed, approved. I think. You can go there and learn for 1 month, again go another after 1 month and learn film editing, videography, all that you can learn. They will teach you free of cost. It's in Delhi. It's called the Consortium for Educational Communication. They are the people who are giving the classes. See, I said whenever I say something, it adds to some questions to you, okay? There could be one question in your test also. Which is the agency that gives education through tele, and which channel which they give? That all could be the questions. There is a part in your question itself on educational communication. Vidnan, which channel it is giving? UGC and IGNU, on which channel of DD it comes? That could be one question in your exam. Anything related to teaching could be a question. So whatever I am saying is all adding to your question. So when I say they have got a channel, what you do is go and search DD1 for which educational program they telecast, DD2, DD9, Vidnan, Nyan, there are different names. UGC have got different one, IGNU have got a different one. So you must learn IGNU channel is this. Okay, that could be one question for. That could be there for science as well as for the humanities subjects also. So they produce lot of such programs. CEC, Consortium for Educational Communication. Their colleges in each university is called AVRC earlier. Have you heard about it? Audio Visual AVRC, Audio Visual Research Center, something like that. Okay. Audio Visual, because earlier it was not called multimedia. They thought only audio and video can be multimedia. Maybe after some time taste also will become. Smell also can come through. No, your TV you can smell idli and order. Research Center, AVRC. In Kerala, Calicut University have got an AVRC center. Okay. They renamed it in something else. I am not very sure. You can just check up the name. Multimedia Research Center, EMRC. See, that's another center. Some of them renamed it, some of them did not. EMMRC, not EMRC. Electronic Educational Multimedia Research Center. Instead of audio visual, they wanted to add multimedia. That's what I said, Earlier it was audio visual, now they made it into multimedia. Educational Multimedia Research Center, EMMRC. All EMMRC directors will report to UGC CEC chairman. That means CEC is controlling EMMRC. And UGC had a wonderful program. Any graduation course syllabus, that could be anything. You can take phonetics and try to explain what's phonetics. You can talk about what is marketing. And think about a 20 minutes or 40 minutes, 20 minutes program, and then record it. But it cannot be just a lecture, it has to be multimedia. That means you must have some graphs. Okay, you must take some examples. It could be an interactive class like this which somebody records. I did maybe 60 hours of program on different topics. So I did a course there. So that taught me these learning styles and teaching styles. And I said, not just record one sort of a class, a topic from one teacher. When I teach a concept, I will teach in one style, but somebody else teaches, you teach in a different style. So collect many different styles from many different teachers. And it's an interactive class which I am teaching looking at your eyes, so that I will also change my style. So same teacher could teach the same thing in 3 different. So don't make it an electronic teaching class, but a recorded program, live, and then put it. And each student have their own style. Therefore, what do you do? When you enter a program, earlier we used to have plate meals or leaf meals, right? Now the style is not plate meals. Now the style is, what is it called? When you attend a marriage, what is the style of food? Buffet system. And teaching also should be buffet system. So how do you make a teaching buffet system? You like one teacher, go and learn from her. Some other teacher go and learn that topic from her. Some teacher may be good in something, so taste each one. And you like some sambar, keep on eating that. Right now you must have such a system. We have that system in many of the earlier doctors used to be only in one place. Now you have choice of doctors, right? So education also should change. So you may be of adaptive learning. Try to identify an adaptive teacher and then go and learn from. So you will learn better. But you can't do it in normal colleges and classrooms, but you can do it on internet. Yes or no? There are many styles of teachers available. And banner them. This fellow is this fellow is this. But how do you know what is your style of teaching, learning? So I prepared some few questionnaire in which I'm a psychologist. Okay, I've got a degree in psychotherapy and counseling. For last 8 years, 10 years, I have treating a lot of people. So I talk to people, mainly I talk to teachers and students. They are more psychic. So I understand the teachers' styles, I understand the student style also. Give few questionnaire, you know whether this person is of discovery style or adaptive or deductive. So I make a questionnaire. I'm a computer science for 20 years, so I know programming well. So what we do is we make a questionnaire, give that questionnaire to you. You answer few questions, I know you are deductive. So what I do? I will direct you only to those teachers. And then you learn from them. We conduct an exam, and after that examination, assume you don't get 80%, that means my evaluation is wrong. So what I do? Ask few more questions and find out whether for that topic you could be discovery. So nobody has got a single style. You have one style for one topic. For mathematics you can have only discovery, you cannot have deductive and inductive, right? Scooter repair you cannot have deductive and inductive. You cannot have discovery also, then you will spoil the scooter. So it depends on which style for which subject. So again we will do another experiment and then divert you onto some other teacher. And you can repeat. Now one advantage in internet or cassette, but not the telecast. Telecast you have no control. You cannot fast forward if you know the subject. You cannot rewind and then listen once again if you don't know the subject. But in internet you have that option, right? No? And you can stop the class, go for 1 or 2 and then come back and continue. You can have a tea and then come back. But in the class you can't do that. You have no stop, you have no pause, you have no control on the teachers. But on an internet you have control on teachers. You can repeat it as many times as you want. And why do you want to have exams like only in September, only in April? When you have computers on internet, you can put as many questions as you want, test the student, and if you don't pass by 75%, 80%, don't give a pass mark. Ask you to write again. Repeat it as much time as you want. MCOM can be a 3 months course. You finish your course as fast as you can and then write the exam, then jump into the next, right? No? Why a donkey and a horse have to be sitting in the same class? So somebody can go faster, somebody can go. That sort of education system is called a flexible learning system. I am teaching you now the teaching methods and styles, okay? Flexible learning system. So flexible examinations are there. You know that there was a professor from Lincoln University, Colonel Nair, who came here to give a talk. He was a friend of mine. On internet I got contact with him. A lot of friends on internet. So that's how I came to know him and I called him here for the conference section. He was describing one case. One student of him in UK, visa was getting expired, the course is not over. But there the teachers have flexible times. They can take exam and finish. Okay, your course is over, you can go down. So the Nair asked him, you want to take exam now and then go? Yeah, then take examination next Saturday. So next Saturday he was ready. He said, I will give you exam now, but you will get marks what you really get. Another option is, I will not give you exam, I will give you 60% mark. Don't waste my time and your time. I know you have already prepared 60%, you know the subject, so I will give you 60%. You like to take exam? Then he was doubtful whether to take exam or not, so he was in doubt what to do. And And then he said, sir, I will take a chance, but I don't know. Okay, then what I will do is I will give you 2 more days. After 2 more days, I will conduct an exam. I am sure you are not thorough today. Understood, no? So a teacher can assess a student by just asking one question. You don't have to conduct exam, evaluate. And he came back after 2 days. He said, I will give you 80% mark, go. Because that 2 days tension must have been correct, no? So this is called flexible. We don't have in India such system. But internal assessment is put. But internal assessment is a big failure. Most of the time teachers are not qualified. Teachers are not qualified. That's a real fact. I am seeing the worst community who don't spend in a single penny from their pocket for improving their capability. They are teachers. Every casual laborer sharpen their weapon using their own money. But no teacher will pay. They will first ask you whether you will pay, college will pay. Right, no?
Yes.
I have taught more than 1 lakh of teachers. More than 1 lakh of teachers is my asset. I keep telling you. Pardon? I didn't. Yeah, even if it's free, they don't. My eldest brother is a professor. His wife is a professor. My next brother is a teacher, and next brother was a teacher. In my whole family, there are most of them are teachers. And most of the teachers in the class, they will keep asking, "Did you follow? Have you understood?" And they don't even wait for the answer. Next sentence is without a semicolon. Right now, so what is the point in asking questions? And most of the teachers are beggars. You know why? Please listen, please listen. They beg for your listening because the teachers know that you are not listening in the class. Most of the students don't attend the class. You know the percentage of, if somebody teaches for 40 minutes, the students will listen only for 10 to 15 minutes in the class. True, no?
Yes.
You are not able to concentrate more than that. And now I am talking to you for how many hours now?
It's just listening.
More than half an hour. I am sure all of you were with me at least 25 minutes. Yes, sir. So if a teacher can catch 80% of the concentration, that itself is great. But most of the teachers, not today. Traditionally teaching was like that. Traditionally teaching was like that. Not today. And who is a traditional teacher? A teacher who practices what he teaches. So do you practice what you teach? Shakespeare, when you teach, do you practice Shakespeare? Do you practice chemistry? Can you visualize chemistry? Yesterday I was asking I am staying with my sister at Appalli. So her daughter is in nano medical science, nano medicine. Okay, MSc nano medicine also. After BDS. Today MBBS and BDS is useless. Right now, that's like graduation. Earlier typewriting courses. So once you pass, you don't get any job. So they have to do post graduation. So she is doing. I just asked her what is nanotechnology. We were few friends. Many friends were there who came to see me. So I just asked them. They are all laymen. Just explain what is nanotechnology to them. Not to me. I know what's nanotechnology. So she tried 20 minutes. I asked each one of them, did you understand? I just explained nanotechnology in a different style. And they could follow it in 5 minutes. Now they know what's nanotechnology. There are a lot of mosquitoes and there was no power. Yesterday that Appalli side. So I said, when you inject, you have got a needle thickness in your mind, right? No? All of you have? And it could be of the size of a safety pin. Not smaller than that. But when mosquito bites, what the mosquito does? You know, mosquito injects a anesthesia first. First bite is an anesthesia, local anesthesia. so that you will not know the mosquito is biting you. And then it comes, injects its needle, suck the blood, and just before it going, again it gives a local de-anesthesia, and then flies. But in between, if you see the mosquito, what you will do? Then what happens is the needle is inside and it starts itching for you, because the anesthesia is still alive. The needle is inside. That is why you are getting affected. Otherwise, normally mosquitoes biting will not be a big problem. Then you must have patience. Let the mosquito come and take some. And this injecting is not painful, and it is sucking blood. But same, no medical doctors can take your blood without pain. Can you have this mosquito technology in giving injections? And that technology can be called as nanotechnology, etc. Understood? Now you know what's nanotechnology, right? Now you know the lizard or something runs on the wall. How does it walk on the wall? You know, you have a vacuum sucker. You can, some hangers are there where you can just put vacuum sucker. So it has got a vacuum sucker. You just press it, take it, so it sticks to that. These, നമ്മുടെ സാധാരണ എന്താണ് പറയാ മലയാളത്തിൽ, പല്ലിയുടെ കാലിൽ there are 3000 vacuum suckers. So what it does, when it walks, vacuum sucker. And then it plugs out, put vacuum sucker next. So it never falls. That's why it could stand on top. So you can imagine അത്രയുമുള്ള ചെറിയ കാലിൽ 3000 vacuum suckers. Can our mechanical people or electronics people make such mechanism? That mechanism is called nanotechnology. As simple as that.
Yes,
no?
certainly.
And what is nano? Nano is? Micro is? Micro is?
A unit of measurement.
Unit of measurement. I did not say, it's not a unit of measurement. If I add micrometer, that becomes meter measurement. Nobody say micro kilogram. Micrograms. Micro means 10 power minus 6. Nano means 10 power minus 9. Why nano? Why not micro technology, not nanotechnology? Ask this question. Why is it called nanotechnology, not microtechnology? Microtechnology never came. Right now? 10 power minus 6 technology could have come. But instead of that, 10 power minus 9 technology came. Why 10 power minus 9 technology came first? വടി ഉണ്ടോ? ഒരു വടി വേണം. കെമിസ്ട്രിക്കാരോടൊക്കെ ഈ ചോദ്യം ചോദിക്കുമ്പോൾ അടിക്കണം, അപ്പോഴേ ഉത്തരം. കെമിസ്ട്രിക്കാരോട് ചോദിക്കാൻ കാരണം, യു ആർ കെമിസ്ട്രി റൈറ്റ് നോ? യു ആർ ദ ഓൺലി കെമിസ്ട്രി, സോ യു മസ്റ്റ് ആൻസർ ദിസ്. Why is it called nanotechnology? What is nano in chemistry? What is the atom size? All in terms of nano. 10 power minus 9, right? 10 power minus 9 meters. You must tell meters. 10 power minus 9 meters. What is 1 meter? You can visualize, no? 10 power minus 9 meters you can visualize. Can you visualize? This is 1 meter. From the tip to this shoulder, exactly 1 meter. That's why when I go for measuring some cloth or something, I just measure like this. I learned tailoring when I was in 1978. Just measure. Exactly, it will not change. From this tip to this shoulder today. And I did not change. 60 kilogram for last 20 years. So nano is 10 power minus 9 meters. And that is atom. Can you visualize atom size? Can you? Jalandare gate bhanu yat sushmam drishyate rajaha tasya trimshattamo bhagaha paramanu iti smritaha. Paramanu is atom. Jalandare gate bhanu. Take a bucket of water, put a torch inside. You will see some particles moving. Or a light of source which enters in a dark room, you will see some particles moving. That's called rejaha. That particle is called rejaha. Tasya trimshattamo bhagaha paramanu iti smritaha. Divide that into 30 pieces, you will see an atom. So 30 atoms put together will be that size. Can you visualize it now? Now assume you want to see the thickness of this paper. What is the thickness of this paper? You know how is it measured? See, each word I am saying is a question for you. There are some concepts inside. What is the thickness of this? GSM. This is 70 GSM paper. You know, if I touch this, I will be able to say 70 GSM. Because my hand is already in practice measuring thickness. I was running a stationery shop. So, I touch this, okay, this is 70 GSM paper.
What is this GSM?
You find out. Discovery teaching only happens here. Now you cannot measure this GSM. Vernier calipers also cannot. So what do? How do you measure this? Now you want to know what's a GSM, right? That's the class. The class is to have as many questions as you have. Answers will not be here, but you will get answers very easy. You can find your own answers. Okay. So when you search for answers, you will get more questions. If I give you answers, you will not get more questions. That's why I will give you a lot of questions, and you have sufficient time.
Look up.
Look for those and related. You will get a lot of answers. Now where we started? Nano, micro, GSM. So many words I will introduce. I will not give you answers for that. The more curious you are, that good you are. That's what is research aptitude. Yes sir. Now, if I have to know the thickness of this paper, I can't do that. So I put 100 such papers, measure either vernier calipers or a scale, and then divide by 100. That is why atom cannot be visualized. He put 30 atoms together and then said that's the Rajaha. If I ask you take a hair, your hair, if you don't have very thick hair, normal hair. Now that thickness, how many atoms you can put? Ask yourself a question. Then you know the answer. How do you know? Because you know 10 power minus 9 is 1 nano. That is the atom size. Is it 10 power minus 9? Much higher than that. So what do? You can't measure one hair. You put 10 hairs very close by and then take a scale and measure it. Divide by 10 and divide that to get to 10 power minus 9. I did this and I got nearly 130 atoms can put into the size of a hair. It could be wrong, but it could be close to that. And then, you know who is the 13th century chemist who is from Andhra Desha? He's called the modern chemist. In his name you will see fertilizers, you will see medical shops. Especially in Hyderabad you will see a lot of medical shops in his name. There is a fertilizer in his name. Andhra Pradesh there is a university in his name. That's in Warangal side. Geography, history, economics, chemistry, every subject is related to geography. Right now? Every subject is related to. English is also related to geography. You will ask which English. That's related to geography. History, without geography you cannot explain. Economics, you cannot explain without geography. Mathematics, you cannot explain without geography. Every subject have got geography inside. That's why I said Andhra Desham, chemist, there is a university. What is that? I had few lectures for ICFI, management colleges, those areas. That's a fun. When you travel a lot, you get a lot of knowledge by default, right? There will not be mutton shop in his name, but there will be medical shops in his name. Nagarjuna, heard about him? Sakshat anubhavair drishto na sruto na guru darshidaha lokanam upakaraya etat sarvam pradarshitam. Do research only in the field which is useful for human being. That's what he says. Lokanam upakaraya. That is what is research. The definition of research is given by him. Sakshat anubhavair. You must feel. Anubhavikya enna feel cheyananu alle paranju kelkkunadalla. Na guru darshidaha. Edo oral paranjadu kondavaruthu. Na guru darshidaha. Na sruto. Not what you hear. Kettadavaruthu. എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം? The subject should become yours. How do you get it yours? You must feel for the subject. If I feel for mathematics, mathematics is mine. If I feel for chemistry, chemistry is mine. Correct, no? You must have the feeling for that subject. Then that subject will become yours. BSc first year, my English textbook was Shakespeare's Macbeth. In 3 months I translated. The first thing what I did is I translated Macbeth during 3 months class. That's how you learn, no? Right? Ask any question in Macbeth, we know that. Why? Because you have translated it. No? It's the best way. Best way to learn is to translate. That's language classes, that's the best way. You must be able to translate anything into anything else. So when you feel for chemistry, you know that. So you feel for atoms now, right now? All of you got atom size with you in your mind. Will you forget it in your life? You can never forget it. Atom size 10 power minus 9 nano. Nano is also understood now. Correct, no? So realize it like this. Think practically attached to what you know and then connect to what you know. That's why nanotechnology and mosquito technologies are same. So you will learn such a subject. So nano is the size of an atom. Therefore chemists are the people who started the nanotechnology. Now you feel for it. Jnani-nam drishtigojaraha. Only knowledgeable people can see this atom. Knowledgeable people can see this atom. Now you can see this atom right now because you have knowledge. Now the more knowledge you have, you automatically will have creativity. Creativity is what is research. The more creative you are, you will start researching. What you know, you can search. What you don't know, you re-look at it again, you will know little bit more. And that little bit more knowing is called research, right now? And you get a degree. What is the degree? PhD. What is that for? Permanent head damage. Perspiration, humiliation and degradation.
Perspiration? I didn't get the central part. Perspiration? I got degradation and I got perspiration.
Perspiration, humiliation and degradation.
Okay.
Passed with high difficulty. PhD. And so many. But doctor of philosophy, right now? You do PhD either in maths or chemistry or physics or English or Malayalam, you get PhD on doctor of philosophy. Because unless you can explain, philosophically explain, every explanation is philosophical. Right now? Unless you can establish, I can see, but if you cannot establish it, I can measure. If I cannot tell that what I have measured, that measured is useless. Somebody says, no, did you count the number of chairs in this room? Yes, I have counted. How much? I don't know. I don't remember. If you don't remember, you cannot tell somebody else, the counting becomes useless, no, invalid. So any research become useful only if you can explain. That's why philosophy is given. And philosophically you can fool people. Philosophy is something which you fool people. Right now? So I did a PhD, heat transfer, and I have written a thesis. Now if I read, I know that's all wrong. I can take a student and then tell that student to rewrite the whole thesis and submit to the same university, they will get another PhD. My PhD is safe with me, right? So the PhD is not given for what you invent, it is given for your creativity. Yeah. Understood, no? You may do wrong, doesn't matter. You take a Nobel Prize on what you do. How many of you have seen the Al Gore's movie on global warming? What is that movie name? It's not.
No, I forgot the name.
You must remember all this because the environment science question could be this. Incredible. Tell me, balance.
You're not getting it, sir.
Truth. And find out, okay?
He begins by speaking about his election and all that and how he lost it and all that. I remember the thing.
Who is that person? Al Gore. What was he?
He stood against the American president.
Vice President of America, right? So Al Gore have a wonderful movie. What is that movie? Incredible Truth.
Inconvenient truth. The inconvenient truth.
Inconvenient
Yes,
truth, right.
something like that. Yes.
So
Nobody wants to hear about it.
inconvenient truth. But I call it as incredible truth. That's why I kept on repeating it. You know, it's all false. The whole movie is fooling people. He shows you a picture in the movie, and which is of 1800s, and show another picture of 2007, and says the glacier was like this, and today glacier is like this. And the first picture, when you see movie, you don't think, but if you think, those period there was no camera. You understood now?
Yes.
Now, I was called for a talk by CPI or CPM, one of the Marxist party, to talk on global warming in Trivandrum. I was a keynote speaker then. So I came and then talked against global warming. I said there is no global warming, it's just fooling people. And the whole lecture was based on another movie which came against this inconvenient truth. You know that movie name? Anybody of you? You just keep on seeing movie. If you don't read anything also, no. That's called Global Warming Swindle. That's produced by British television company. I love movies. I see all movies. Any Malayalam, English movies. Keep on seeing movies.
Produced by the British?
British television have produced that. Global Warming Swindle. In Global Warming Swindle, what he does is, he takes a lot of such false picturization, and then he also interviews the best environment scientist in the world, not from America,
Okay.
but from America itself. There is a magazine which is coming. It's a very famous science magazine which describes lot of environment issues. Anybody knows this? Have you heard American Scientist? The magazine name itself is that, okay? So the editors of those scientists were also interviewed to prove that there is no global warming. Now day after tomorrow I have a talk in KE College Manan on mathematical modeling. So where I am going to explain global warming models are all bogus. Okay. But don't write this in your exams. You must support global warming. Because the teachers who evaluate know only what they read in the newspaper. They don't do real research. What I am trying to say is you must feel for it. How do you feel? Now global warming will make a change up in 2050, 1 degree raise in temperature. It's a big problem, right? 1 degree raise in temperature. Is it 1 degree raise in temperature is a big problem for you? What is the winter temperature here? In Hyderabad, 18 degrees. And what is the summer temperature? 43 degree. 25 degree you can tolerate. Then why not 1 degree after 50 years? By the time none of us will be there. Your next generation will take birth in the summer only. Therefore they can live in more summers, right now? So it's not a big issue. It's a big political issue. Now when you think, you will identify some more. But how do you think? You must have basic knowledge. The basic knowledge, the god of knowledge is goddess of knowledge in Bharatiya Sankalpam is Saraswati. Who is her husband? Who is Brahma. Brahma is the god of creativity. So if you have knowledge, you automatically have creativity, because the husband will always follow the wife. Indian tradition. And if you have only creativity without knowledge, you can't. So you must have sufficient knowledge. So get as much knowledge as you have, then you can do creativity. Which subject you should have knowledge? Every subject. You know, after I became scientist in Department of Space, I found that without geography I cannot do anything. Because we take satellite images, and then start interpreting. I must know which part of this country I am looking at. I must know whether it is a desert or not, so that I know, looking at the image, I know this is a desert from tomorrow. So you must know about the land. So geography textbook, what started here. So all of your first paper contains geography. So don't forget geography, okay? At least you must know where Bombay is, what is the latitude, what is the longitude, what is the time difference between two longitudinal lines. How do you know this? Don't by heart. How do you know the longitudinal difference? You know, when 1 degree to another degree, what is the time difference? How do you know this? You know there is a difference, no? Indian time is different from Greenwich, 5.30 hours. All that you know, you by hearted. But why? Did you ask yourself any time? You want to know that? What is whole earth? The degrees, one circle, 360. And 360 is 24 hours. So 24 hours divided by 360 will give you 1 degree is how many minutes? Do it now.
Just like Shana said, rather than the training on UGC, I think he has this class and the way he teaches, the way he speaks about different things, it gives you a trigger, you know, to dwell in life, to mold ourselves to a better person with so much of love, with so much of passion, with so much of creativity. So I think we all need to come out of the shells, you know, we all have our own shelf of being comfortable in our own ways, be it our little class of teaching or our workplace or our home or our subject. But here is a man who knows everything, almost about everything. Too much. and the best thing about him is he's so down to earth. And I think, sir, you have very much given us a really good lesson. The way he chants Sanskrit and, you know, relates everything. That relativity, I think, deserves a big applause. And definitely, on behalf of each and everyone present here, I think you have definitely marked a very significant moment in our lives, so that in our future ventures, whatever it be, whether we pass the UGC or not, you know, I hope all of us get through. Whether we pass or not, that instinct, you know, that has actually born within us in these 2 days will continue to live, and we'll always remember you for these wonderful moments and all the knowledge that you've given us. Thank you.
Go ahead.
So what I often say to us is that sir said, don't stick on to one thing. Somehow all through these years, people have been telling me that you have to stick on to one thing. You have to follow one particular path because that shows the line of whatever. I tried my hand in a lot of things. I did library science. I went and worked in audio radio. I mean, a lot of things. So whenever I go for all these kinds of experiments, practically people used to say maybe you're searching for something, you're not satisfied. But now I find that my search was right. I mean, you don't stick on to something, you put your hands in everything and you get lost.
Just one little thing. Like she said, when I also came here, I wasn't prepared for UGC, and I'm definitely not a research person, though I love to read all kinds of things, anything from Western to about guns and museums. So what I liked was two things. One was the passion, like she said. He ignited a lot of things that are already in us. It's not that he came with a lot of new things, that also was there, but a lot of things that we have learned in life from our teachers, from parents, he ignited that, and he's made sure, at least in my case, he's made sure that we follow it. Like yesterday, after going through his talks at night, I went and checked one of his blogs, and I saw this picture. He's sitting in a temple in white dhoti and white torta, and there are two children, and the fire that he had in his eyes, those are 4 or 5 year old children, and he looked like a student himself, you know, like a student forever. Yes, and that urge I think we should carry on, like she said, whether we pass the UGC. And one more thing, we should rename this class Life Lesson. It's not UGC-NET preparation. He's told us everything from managing families and husbands to managing your activities.
Not husband.
Yeah. Depending whichever your case is.
Husband.
So a lot of things to carry on in our lives and a lot of things to teach other people also. There's no point in keeping this to ourselves. We should talk to our friends, our family, anybody on the streets probably, who can make do of our help. So thank you very much, sir.
We'll keep meeting in Hyderabad. We're coming to Hyderabad.
Sure, January.
Want a job on? Done, issued.
I think I thank each and every one of you for making the sessions lively and successful. I should say, sadly, ഏറ്റവും വലിയ very little time, I had very little time. Because we were organizing an IT camp for the NSS, I also get some kind of always turbulence come and then you get a lot of activity. I can't stick on with very restless soul. So it's like I had a lot of work to do plus the department work. So whatever I planned in a week's time. So I'm going to tension ആയിപ്പോയി അവസാനം കുട്ടികളുണ്ടാവുമല്ലോ because the PG students had their exams and the first PGs were totally displaced and I was finding it extremely difficult how many you don't know this value actually. Now you have realized. Now these sessions usually carry up to 35,000 and people are ready to pay up to 50,000 for a session. Maybe it is because of his generosity and the kind of affection that he has towards me. He agreed to, spare his 32 hours with us. It's a 48 hours work. So I don't know how to thank him. Saying thank you isn't enough. So at least my nightmare was how many would turn up after inviting him. And one thing which always, if he is there, I am very much at peace because it's not like the usual resource persons who fuss around and then say that is not done. He said, don't worry about it. So that is that is friendship and that is understanding. It is very, very how and the essence, his essence is the humility, as you said. Kind of humility with which he walks around, creates an aura of humility. So thank you so much, sir. And I think I promise you next year you will So you should, I think you will qualify the test and then I told him the next time the ad will be proper with your photographs. You will be successful.
It doesn't matter how many people are around you. See, I remember in Ernakulam, I was called for a lecture to give. It was a very, very different talk. I never given a talk after that like that. Relating dance postures with the normal puja postures. Tantra Shastram I have learned how to do pujas. I know how to do puja, most of the pujas. And we have got in each puja we use the gestures, symbols and all that. There was a lecture given 3 students, 6 hours. Only 3 students in 6 hours. It was recorded and being used by the teacher to teach the relation between them. It was not what I learned. Go and sit there and look at somebody's eye, you get knowledge. It's not that, what she said, no, it's not that I am giving knowledge. Most of the things were chanting shloka, let it be something which I talk. I keep recording my own talk. Just because something comes in the class. But if I start writing or reading or thinking, it will never come. But in the class it comes because I am looking at the people. So you are my strength. The class is good not because of me, it's not because of you. It doesn't matter, one person is enough. Sometimes I keep talking to people for hours together. There are people who comes to my house and stay up to 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock night and stay with me and then go on date next week. They just plan for few hours, but they come and sit with me for hours together. Very recently, the richest man, probably the richest Malayali in Delhi, called me just for a lunch. He said, no, time is my money. So if you start any project, I will give you as much money you want. But I can't entertain people more than for half an hour. So I just called you for lunch. We have lunch and then you have to disperse. He sat with me from 12 o'clock to 8 o'clock night. You understood, no? And I just asked him at the end, okay, you told me that you don't ask money. Then what's that I should ask you? So that's how it is. So it is not, it's the energy from the person whom you talk. You cannot talk to somebody if they are not interested. Okay, so we started from 9:30 up to 1:30. Is there any class in which you sat like that? Tell me. I keep seeing whether somebody is seeing watch. If you keep seeing watch, that means the class is boring. If you are not seeing watch, it means you are not. That's the first. Okay. There were lectures for contractors in Trivandrum on Vastu. Okay. It was for 10 rupees paid registration because the crowd was that. You want to control the people with the 10 rupees only. And the lecture was from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Non-drink. No water, nothing. The electricity in Trivandrum in Kerala comes, goes, and nearly 200 people. So 200 people I will be holding. I don't require any, like I said, I don't require public address. It's all from the face of people. It's that easy. I will remember each one of you. You can just telephone. I may not remember your name, but I will remember your face, which dress you have worn. There are cases when teachers train in college, I don't know, in Trichy, somebody telephoned to me, I said, you are the third row, second person. Who sat in my class. The other day somebody called me, so one of my students, Ramakrishna, called me for a lecture. She started her own soft skill training institute in Dilshuk Nagar. In 3 months she was calling. I said, I will come, October I will come, after my retirement I am coming to Hyderabad, that time I will come. So it's okay. October she called. I said, October I am coming to Kerala, so after coming back I will come. So November 1st was the day. And I went, she was waiting and postponing inauguration for 3 months. Each month she was paying 40,000 rupees rent. 40,000 rupees rent. Dilshuk Nagar, the center of the city, 40,000 rupees. 3 months she did not run course because she wanted my class as the first class. So I have got one such student, he did not do it. That's not. I have got few engineering college students. One Bharat Chandra, you can see my blog. Shiksha, I have put to Bharat Chandra. The last week he called 3 different schools together and then conducted a program in Medipattu, Pullar D school. He called one school, another school, third school, and all those schools we collected together. And then he conducted one of my lecture. It went from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Okay, so all the principals spoke, students spoke. Most of the students are very close to me. And after that, next day, one of those school called this child to felicitate him with a shot. You can imagine what would be the thrill which he must have right now. And you can see Shiksha Anandapur started by him. There is a Shiksha is my organization. That's all started by the students and we named it together. Shiksha Anandapur he started. He comes from a very, very poor family. Very poor family. I'm sure he don't even have money to even call me. So he gave this call. Such a poor person, but he does this job. Somebody asked me, I said, no, you are getting felicitated, it's great. So that's how a student of BTech getting felicitated in a school is something great for you. Is it not? And that's the work which people do. So when people do that, we can't stop. We are with them. So I said, Anandapur, I will be there next week. As soon as I go back, I will spend a day. There may be only few students, doesn't matter. I went for an AIDS Control Society's activation program in one of the villages in Andhra. I don't speak good Telugu, but none of them understand English or Hindi. And I have to give a talk in Telugu. It was few years back. Now I know a little bit of Telugu much better. I gave all the talk was in Telugu. At the end, I was sitting on a chair and somebody was called to tell what he feels. As I was sitting, I said, take a chair and I said, he just sat on my lap. 22-year-old person who comes and sat on my lap. That picture is also so natural. He feels so that the liberty to come and sat on the lap is something which he has. Is it not great? Somebody who spends few hours with you feels that he can sit on my lap just like that. And that is the liberty. I am sure he will not sit with that liberty on his father's lap. Anybody at 22 age will sit on his father's lap. But that is the liberty which we do. And I take that liberty. I am sure she was saying the liberty which she feels in which she can talk to me. That's what it is. So why do you want to be, you are not in a different level, you are all one and the same. All this education, what we do is by chance, by mistake. It's not that we want, right? No? It just happened. I am just 324 marks in 10th class, 52%. Just 52%. That's my 10th class. I am not a great knowledgeable person or something, but I am sure I do a lot of work. I keep reading, learning, every moment what I can, I start learning. And when I take class, I learn quite a lot. It's refresh. Otherwise, I will not read all this. Will I read? Why should I read this? Why should I have general knowledge? I've got a quizzing association here. If you want to conduct quiz anywhere, he is the best quizzer. SNEH, Dreams Quiz. I work with many associations parallel. And Dreams Quiz, SNEH is a very, very, very brilliant quizzer. He conducts quiz competition in many colleges. One of the best quizzer in Canada. And this SNEH started a Dreams Quiz. Somewhere he was in Singapore and then we started interacting. And then later I came to know that he is from Calicut. So what I do is at late night, he just start asking me, I have to conduct a program 2009, some quiz competition, so sir, give me a name for that. And I said, just give Shraddha. One name I give. And he said, sir, one emblem for Shraddha. One emblem for Shraddha. That was at 11:30 or 12 o'clock night. That's the time when he comes for chat. I said, just give this. This is Shraddha. This is the emblem. His diary is there on mine. So this is the emblem. Does it look like a question mark? So it's apt for a quiz. Right? What is that relation with the Shraddha? Just tilt it like this. That is Shraddha. It's Shraddha written in Malayalam. Right? It's as simple as that. And you cannot guarantee you get it. But that click of a point, that's what I call. So when somebody asks a question, you get something which you can never get. If you don't ask me, I will never get it in my life. It's not something great. But if you know, oh, I have done it. That's it. So that's what. I won't write this poetry if Shiba Tattal from Nivela College is there. You just keep on telling, right sir, you can write. When I just sent to her, she said, it's wonderful. You keep on telling like that, no, I wrote all the 27 poems. And after that, now another 1 year, I will not write anything. I will not be able to write anything. So if there is a listener, it comes. That's just as simple. So if the class is successful, good, it's not because of me. It doesn't matter how many people are there. And sure, I'm not doing it for money. I'm rich. I'm rich enough. I know where to take my tea and lunch, that's all. I'm rich for my cup of tea. I decide where I take my tea. That's all. That's all. So it's not money which you want. And I'm sure many people are too confused. They don't spend money for this. They spend money for something else. I've seen classes in which when people say no, when I say I have 100 rupees, they don't buy. They say, sir, I don't have money. I've seen when I go into the nearest hotel, they take chicken biryani. Pay more than that. So it's not, you don't have interest in something people don't have. And today the situation is people don't have interest in education, learning, they just want to make money. Okay, but money, happiness, yesterday I explained, there are three things which gives you happiness: money, education and fame. Money and fame, your happiness will die very fast. Education, happiness will never die. Learn more, you will feel more happier. And that happiness will remain whole life. And give food, money, fame to somebody, it will digest and die fast. Education you give, it will never die. Let us know. Annadanam paramdanam Vidyadanam adatparam annena kshanika truptihi yavat jivam cha vidya. Annadanam paramdanam. Annadanam is the best danam. You must have seen this written many of the places. That is the best. But Vidyadanam adatparam. Above that is Vidyadanam. Annena kshanika truptihi. If you give food, after some time, you will ask who will give me the next food. But in education, yavat jivam cha vidya. Throughout your life, it may get digested, not digested, but will be with you. So try to learn and teach as much as you can. Every day try to learn something to feel much more happy. Everybody have paper which you have put written the details.